Hi, welcome back to Madam English YouTube channel. Today's lesson, we are going to talk about narrative text. Ya, hari ini kita akan pelajari teks naratif lisan ya. Kalian akan mendengarkan beberapa cerita dari naratif teks. Nah, naratif teks hari ini kita akan membahas tentang folklore atau legenda rakyat ya. Now, let's see the example of narrative text. Please listen carefully to the story. Sang Kuryang. Once upon a time, there was a kingdom in Priangan land. There lived a happy family. They were a father in the form of dog named Tumang, a mother which was called as Dayang Sumbi, a child Sang Kuryang. One day, Dayang Sumbi asked her son to go hunting with his lovely dog Tumang. After hunting all day, Sang Kuryang began desperate and worried because he hunted no deer. Then he thought to shoot his own dog. He took the dog liver and carried home. Soon, Dayang Sumbi found out that it was not a deer liver but Tumang's, his own dog. So she was very angry and hit Sang Kuryang's head. In that incident, Sang Kuryang got wounded and scarred, then cast away from their home. Years go by. Sang Kuryang had traveled many places and finally arrived at a village. He met a beautiful woman and fell in love with her. When they were discussing their wedding plans, the woman looked at the wand in Sang Kuryang's head. It matched to her son's wand who had left several years earlier. Soon, she realized that she fell in love with her own son. She couldn't marry him, but how to say it? Then, she found a way. After that, Dayang Sumbi said that she would marry him but in one condition. Sang Kuryang, I want a lake and a boat for celebrating our wedding day. You had to make them in one night, said Dayang Sumbi. Sang Kuryang said that he would build a lake and a boat soon. With the dawn just moment away and the boat was almost complete, Dayang Sumbi had to stop it. Then she lit up the eastern horizon with flashes of light. It meant the cockcrow for new day. Sang Kuryang failed to marry her. He was very angry and kicked the boat. It fell over and became the mountain of Tangkuban Perahu. Well, students, so that was the story of Sang Kuryang ya. Jadi itu adalah cerita dari Sang Kuryang. Nah, dari teks tadi nih, itu disebut dengan teks naratif ya, cerita naratif. Nah, naratif teks itu memiliki fungsi sosial, yaitu to entertain or amuse the reader or listener. Jadi kalau kamu lagi baca buku, berarti to entertain the reader. Tapi kalau misalnya kamu lagi mendengarkan cerita, seperti itu ya, cerita storytelling, cerita dari film, nah itu berarti to amuse atau to entertain the listener, begitu ya. Jadi ini adalah fungsi sosialnya. Selanjutnya yaitu structure of text. Nah, untuk structure of text itu ada orientation, complication, and resolution. Orientation is the opening of the story ya, the beginning and the introduction of the story. Jadi menceritakan awal mula cerita tersebut. Lalu mulai deh complication. Complication itu adalah konflik atau masalah yang ada di dalam cerita tersebut. Lalu resolution itu bagaimana cara si karakter menyelesaikan masalahnya. Begitu ya. And then linguistic features. Nah, linguistic features-nya biasanya teks naratif itu menggunakan tenses yang past gitu ya. Jadi masa lampau karena sudah terjadi, diceritakan kembali, makanya dia menggunakan past tense. Lalu using direct, indirect speech ya di dalamnya, kalimat langsung dan tidak langsung. Juga menggunakan adverb, biasanya adverb of place, adverb of time. Adverb of place itu kata keterangan tempat, adverb of time itu kata keterangan waktu ya. Kalau adjective itu kata sifat. Nah, kita akan kembali ke contoh teks yang tadi ya. Misalkan tampilkan kembali. Jadi di sana kamu akan Miss jelaskan mana sih yang orientation, mana complication, mana resolutionnya. Oke, kita juga akan lihat linguistic featuresnya. Let's see this explanation ya. Well, this is the introduction of the story atau orientation kita sebutnya ya. Dari mulai Once Upon a Time, there was a kingdom, Imprian land, ada yang tinggal di sana happy family, lalu ada ayahnya berupa anjing gitu ya, namanya Tumang ya. Lalu ibunya namanya Dayang Sumbi dan anaknya Sangkuriang. Lalu suatu hari ini Dayang Sumbi meminta anaknya itu untuk berburu, tapi nggak dapat ya buruannya. Akhirnya dia desperate alias dia udah pusing banget. Akhirnya dia tembak aja deh si anjingnya ya, yang padahal itu adalah ayahnya. Lalu livernya itu dibawa pulang begitu ya, hatinya si anjing itu dibawa pulang. Akhirnya Dayang Sumbi itu tahu bahwa itu tuh bukan dari si rusa, tapi itu adalah si Tumang ya. Tumang itu adalah suaminya gitu ya. Jadi dia tuh sangat marah, very angry ya. Akhirnya dia mukul kepalanya Sangkuriang sampai ada bekas luka di kepalanya Sangkuriang. Akhirnya Sangkuriang pergi dari rumah. Nah, ini adalah orientation of the story ya. Nah, setelah itu nih masih dalam cerita yang tadi ya, years go, jadi bertahun-tahun berlalu. Akhirnya Sangkuriang itu telah pergi ke beberapa tempat dan tiba di suatu desa. Dia bertemu dengan beautiful woman, lalu mereka rencananya mau menikah. Tapi dilihat nih di kepalanya ada bekas luka dan dia sadar nih cewek ini ya, ternyata dia adalah Dayang Sumbi. Dayang Sumbi ini akhirnya tahu bahwa dia adalah anaknya. Dayang Sumbi itu ternyata tetap awet muda gitu ya di sini ceritanya ya. Lalu dia akhirnya cari cara gimana sih biar nggak menikah dengan anaknya sendiri begitu. Nah, ini baru deh mulai konfliknya. Dia nggak mau menikah ya. Akhirnya dia cari cara, dia bilang dia mau menikah dengan Sangkuriang, tapi dengan satu syarat, yaitu dia dibuatkan adanya danau dan juga perahu yang besar. Nah, untuk katanya sih untuk celebrating the wedding gitu ya. Padahal sebenarnya dia cuma mau pura-pura aja. Akhirnya dia janji dibuat untuk 1 malam aja. Kalau lewat 1 malam berarti mereka nggak jadi nikah ya. Nah, akhirnya tuh dibuat ya. Danau dan juga perahu yang besar itu akhirnya dibuat oleh Sangkuriang. Nah, sudah hampir pagi dan ternyata danau dan juga perahunya itu hampir selesai. Kalau danaunya sudah selesai, tapi perahunya hampir selesai. Akhirnya Dayang Sumbi ini mencoba untuk menstop ini. Ya, nah inilah mulai ya, ini konfliknya ya. Jadi dia gugup, bingung gimana biar nggak jadi nikah gitu ya. Akhirnya dia menghidupkan cahaya dari arah timur, seolah-olah itu sudah mau pagi gitu ya, sudah cahaya matahari itu sudah mulai datang, sudah mulai kelihatan. And then si ayam itu akhirnya kukuruyuk ya, dia akhirnya bersuara untuk menyambut pagi yang baru gitu ya. Akhirnya dia bersuara menyambut pagi ya. Selanjutnya karena dia marah Sangkuriang yang gak jadi married dengan si Dayang Sumbi ya, akhirnya dia menendang perahu yang telah dia buat dan perahu tersebut berubah menjadi Gunung Tangkuban Perahu begitu. Nah, ini adalah cerita rakyat ya, legend atau folklore kita sebutnya ya. Nah, kita lihat di sini menggunakan past tense ya. Di Sangkuriang failed. Nah, he was very angry. He was ya, bukan he is. Nah, ini menggunakan past tense. It felt gitu ya, menggunakan past tense. Became juga menggunakan past tense. Nah, sekarang kita lihat di sini mana sih ada adjektif ya di sini ya, angry. Lalu kita lihat lagi yuk, mana lagi ya? Di sini ada direct indirect speech ya, contohnya ya, ini kalimat langsung yang ada double apostrophe ini seperti kayak ngomong gitu ya, kayak seolah-olah Dayang Sumbi itu ngomong langsung. Jadi Sangkuriang, I wanna like and a boat for celebrating our wedding day. Nah, ini seolah-olah Dayang Sumbi itu ngomong langsung. Ini yang disebut juga dengan direct speech atau kalimat langsung. Kalimat yang tidak langsung yang mana, Miss? Nah, kalimat yang tidak langsung yang seperti ini nih contohnya ya. Sangkuriang said that he would build a lake and a boat soon. Nah, ini jadi diceritakan oleh si naratornya. Jadi Sangkuriang berkata bahwa dia akan membuat danau dan perahu segera begitu ya. Jadi tidak ada tanda seperti ini ya. seperti petik 2 ya, tidak ada. Jadi biasanya ada tandanya itu, contohnya ada said that begitu. Nah ini juga contoh yang lain ya. Dayang Sumbi said that she would marry him but in one condition. Ini contoh indirect speech atau kalimat tidak langsung. Jadi si narator itu menceritakan seolah-olah si Dayang Sumbi itu dulu itu ngomong seperti ini loh, begitu. Atau Sang Kuryang itu dulu berbicara seperti ini loh, begitu. Karena disampaikan kembali oleh si narator, maka disebutnya indirect speech, gitu ya. Selanjutnya mana sih Miss kata keterangan waktu, kata keterangan tempat ya? Kita lihat lagi di sini yuk. Nah, di sini ya ada at the village. Nah, ini menunjukkan adverb of place ya. Years go by ini menunjukkan keterangan waktu ya. Jadi kalau yang at the village itu adalah adverb of place. Kalau years go by ini adverb of time gitu ya. Jadi ini adalah contoh-contoh linguistic features yang ada dalam narrative text. Oke. Nah, jadi kita sudah bahas social functionnya, lalu structure of text-nya dan linguistic features-nya. Miss juga sudah mencontohkan di dalam teks yang sudah Miss berikan tadi ya. Well students, now you are going to have a listening test. Please listen to this story and then please answer the question after the story. Miss akan membacakan story-nya, kalian dengarkan baik-baik sehingga nanti bisa menjawab pertanyaannya ya. Oke, now let's do the listening test. The Legend of Lutung Kasarung. Long time ago, there was a king named Prabu Tapa Agung. Prabu Tapa Agung was an old king. He had two daughters, Purbararang and Purbasari. Prabu Tapa Agung planned to retire as a king. He wanted Purbasari to replace him as the leader of the kingdom. Hearing this, Purbararang was very angry. You cannot ask her to be the queen, father. I'm older than her. It's supposed to be me, not her. It's impossible, father, said Purbararang. No, Purbararang. I choose Purbasari as the queen because she is the only one who deserves to be a queen. After all, she is your little sister, answered the king. No, father, I can't accept this. Purbararang was very disappointed. Purbararang then set a bad plan with his fiancée, Indrajaya. They went to a witch together and asked her to put a spell on Purbasari. Then they gave her a bowl of drinks and told Purbasari to drink it. Later, Purbasari had a bad skin. There were black dots all over her body. Oh my God! What happened with my skin? My body, my face, and I'm so smelly, said Purbasari sadly. Ha 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 ha! You are not as beautiful as I am. You cannot be the queen. Instead, you have to leave this palace and stay in the jungle, said Purbararang. Purbasari was very sad. Now she had to stay in the jungle. Every day, she spent her time playing with some animals there. There was a monkey that always tried to cheer her up. It was not just an ordinary monkey. He had magical power, and he also could talk with humans. The monkey's name was Lutung Kasarung. He was actually a god. His name was Sanghyang Gurumina. Lutung Kasarung planned to help Purbasari. He met a small lake and asked her to take a bath there. My princess, I'll have you to get back to the palace, said Lutung Kasarung. Thank you, Lutung. You're very kind. But how can I go back to the palace while my body is smelly and disgusting? Asked Purbasari. Don't worry, princess. You only need to take a bath in that small lake. Amazingly, her bad skin was cured. Now she got her beautiful skin back. After that, she asked Lutung Kasarung to accompany her to go back to the palace. Purbararang was very shocked. She knew she had to come up with another bad idea. She then said, "Those who have a longer hair will be the queen," said Purbararang. The king then measured his daughter's hair. Purbasari had longer hair than Purbararang, but Purbararang didn't give up. "Oh, a queen must have a handsome husband. If my fiancé is more handsome than yours, then I'll be the queen," said Purbararang. Purbasari was sad. She knew Purbararang's fiancé Indrajaya was handsome and she didn't have a fiancé yet. "Here is my fiancé Indrajaya. Where is yours?" asked Purbararang. Lutung Kasarung came forward. Purbararang was laughing very hard. "Your fiancé is a monkey?" "Lutung, what should I do?" asked Purbasari.
"Don't worry, my princess. I have a good idea." Tring!
Suddenly, Lutung Kasarung changed into a very handsome man. He was even more handsome than Indrajaya. Purbararang and Indrajaya were very surprised. Purbasari then became the queen. She forgave Purbararang and her fiancé and let them stay in the palace. Now, please answer the following question. Number 1. What is the story about? Number 2. Who are the characters in the story? Number 3. How are the characters' attitude? Number 4. Where does the story take place? Number 5. What is the conflict of the story? Number 6. How is the resolution of the story? Number 7. What can you learn from the story? Well, that's all the listening task for today. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe Madam English YouTube channel. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.